welcome to the Everything Superhero channel. Thank you for tuning in today for today's podcast. With us today, we've got myself, Rich, who will be hosting. We've also got Sophia.
Hi.
We've got Ben.
Hi.
We've got Ash.
Hiya.
And we've got John.
Hello.
Okay then, so the first thing we're going to be talking about today with our full house of podcasters is going to be all things San Diego Comic-Con. Therefore, we'll make a start with DC, who in my opinion made probably the biggest splash of the Comic-Con. Of course, they managed to have come with not only a new Suicide Squad trailer, but they were also able to drop on as Wonder Woman, followed by Justice League. So we'll start in the order that they kind of revealed them, which was with Wonder Woman first. Now, a lot of people I think were expecting something to arrive. People were expecting maybe news, pictures, maybe not a full trailer. But overall, I thought the trailer was pretty good. What are your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I will admit, had a very Captain America feel, though.
It had an exceptionally Captain America feel to it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it showed exactly what the film was going to be about. It actually had a bit more fun feel to it than most of the other Justice League stuff. Most of the other DC stuff that's come out of recent years. The entire Comic-Con did. Now, that's either them finally realizing that they need to lighten a bit to really get people to pay and to hand over money if they're going to sit there for 3 hours in a film, or they just showed the funny parts or the funner parts. However, from what I saw, it's a film that I'll quite happily queue up and go and watch. And if it helps tell the bigger story of the DC cinematic universe, let's go for it. And plus, let's face it, we haven't had a good Wonder Woman for a while, and Gal Gadot certainly is playing the part well.
I think a good thing that possibly we're looking forward to as far as with the kind of the feel, the tone of the film, is of course this is going to be the one film that has probably the least Zack Snyder influence.
Yay!
So we're going to get away from that gritty side. We're going to get away a little bit from that. We are going to bring in these bits of humour. We've also got Chris Pine, of course, in it, playing Steve Trevor. And for once, Chris Pine looks like he can actually act. He manages to not just look like a waxwork.
You clearly haven't seen Into the Woods.
I clearly haven't seen that. Would you like to expand on why he's good in there?
He's a bit more human, shall we say.
See, now, personally for me, for an actor to be a good actor, I don't think a qualifying statement is they are more human. It's kind of what I expect my actors to do. Of course, one of the big news for me as far as with the Wonder Woman is they have confirmed that she's going to be her actual origin story, because if you go around and you ask 10 people about Wonder Woman's origin, you're going to get 3 different answers. Confirm that she's going to have them Greek god lineage, and her father will be Zeus. I think that's a better way of going. One of the big rumors that was going around is that they were going to make her so that she was a descendant from Krypton somehow.
That would have been terrible.
What?
But they've confirmed that they're not doing that now. I think, despite the fact that Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman to a certain extent have tried to keep it in a grounded, kind of gritty-ish, almost real world. Now the fact they're going to have Wonder Woman, and as we'll get onto soon with Aquaman coming into it and Flash, that's got to stop. It's going to be impossible for them to hang on to this real world.
To be fair, they kind of started losing that at the end of Batman vs. Superman, and I don't just mean when everybody realised that their mums were called Martha. It's where Doomsday appears, and to be fair, at that stage you kind of realise that, okay, this thing's going to start going otherworldly. And also when Superman was dying in space, that was also another part where they went otherworldly. I think they're heading in that direction, but Zack Snyder just needs to leave it alone. He needs to hand over reins to somebody else. He's not, unfortunately, or fortunately, Josh Whedon, who can kind of do what he needs to do, but keep it real. Zack Snyder, for me, tries to, I suppose, do too much with what he's got. I mean, just talking about Batman vs. Superman for a second, he tried to tell like 4 different stories at the same time, and 3 of them fell flat.
Yeah, we touched on that, didn't we? Saying it was 3 hours of everything being thrown in your face, and it was just like, hang on, it left more questions than it actually answer anything.
But what I've seen from the Wonder Woman trailer and the other trailers, even though Zack Snyder's got his hands on one of them, is that that's not happening with Wonder Woman. It looks like it's actually going to be a coherent story that I can follow, thinking, you know what, I actually came out and enjoyed that. Which so far I haven't with DC.
One thing from the trailer that I kind of felt did feel a little out of place still with Wonder Woman was the scene when she bumps into the woman in the lobby and she asks, what are you? Are you his secretary? She's like, oh, we call them slaves where I come from. And I know that it's girl power and all that, but do we really need it forcing down our throats that much? Like, Sophie, you're a girl.
Thank you.
Well noticed.
Do you feel that you need a female figure in these sort of films? Do you feel like your voice is not represented fully?
A female power source. No, you shouldn't be going to watch a film to feel empowered. It's a film, just use it on that basis that it's something that you're going to enjoy. You don't need the whole feminist thing doing it for the women. Yeah, it's a great idea, but it's comic books at the end of the day. Do you really want to read them for that? I wouldn't take anything from it. I wouldn't come out feeling much more empowered. No, she's in like skinny hot pants and carrying around a piece of rope all day. No.
Isn't Wonder Woman anti-male to begin with anyway?
She should be, yeah. But she doesn't even know what a man is, does she? Her father.
Originally, no.
Well, this is what it should be following. She shouldn't have seen a man before. Have you seen the trailer? She's like,
no.
You're a man. And he's like, why don't I look like one? And she's quite shocked.
Taken back by what it is.
By seeing an actual man. And she has to explain.
Taken back by a superior species.
Oh, shut your face.
I dare you to say that to Wonder Woman's face.
Say anything Wonder Woman wanted me to say.
Yes, because it's 1930s and we're all annoyed everyone's got the vote. This is the part that's getting cut, right?
Anyway, back to the scheduled programming.
As far as with Wonder Woman then, I think a big issue is with Wonder Woman is that her villains themselves aren't particularly strong. As far as a recognisable brand, she hasn't got a Joker or a Lex Luthor, or to go to the dark side, a Kingpin or a Thanos even. She doesn't have that major villain. She has kind of Cheetah is probably her main villain. And I can't see DC going full comic booky with Cheetah just yet. I think we're going to be seeing more of
believing in humanity kind of thing, and it wants to help humanity.
But of course, we know that something's got to happen that makes her leave humanity again. As we saw in Batman vs. Superman, she is fully retired as being Wonder Woman at that point. She doesn't want to come back. She gets a dodgy email off Bruce, and she comes back.
Please don't get started on that, please.
Spam.
I don't need.
Spam.
I don't need. Please don't make me lose my shit again over it.
Okay, we'll move swiftly on. Well, Bruce Wayne.
You know PTSD? I have PTSD from that film.
A deep breath, Ben.
It's a modern day masterpiece.
No. You've done a bad thing. You've said a bad thing.
It's the same theory that Prometheus is as good as any of the Alien films.
No.
It's better than Alien Resurrection. You've got to agree on that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yeah, right. I'll give you that. No, I'll give you.
So, of course, it looks like DC are going to do what DC do, not necessarily best, but what they default to all the time, which is create a universe, whether it be animated, whether it be the comics, whether it be on film, as we're getting now, and we're going to base it all around Batman. We're going to not do Man of Steel 2, we're going to do Batman versus Superman. We're going to do Wonder Woman. But the only reason Wonder Woman's back is because Batman sent her an email. And then, of course, that leads us nicely to Justice League.
I will be honest, for what they did in the trailer, I'm actually excited to see Aquaman.
I agree, Ash.
I'm not worried about anybody else, just Aquaman. I want to see how he comes out.
To be fair, I think they're about to... You know all the jokes that about Aquaman's this... I mean, Family Guy have been making them for years. And I think this is the film that completely eradicates them, because to be perfectly honest, he looks badass.
He does.
He is badass, though, isn't he?
Well, it's the line that Batman uses, that Bruce Wayne uses, like, so here you can talk to fish. It's like, that's a direct, tongue-in-cheek line based on the amount of piss take that's been happening for years towards Aquaman. And if they're gonna get that meta with it, then good on you, because Marvel have been doing it for years and doing it right and getting it right, and fans have been loving it. And if DC are starting to jump on that bandwagon, then happy days. Because for us fans, stuff like that is kind of what we go for. we enjoy seeing, I suppose. It's that whole, there's the in-jokes for the die-hard fans that the general population won't get, and they're kind of in there specifically for the guys who have been following DC, Marvel, whatever it is, for years. It's like that kind of like that nod to you, that guys who have been there since the start, the guys who have been there for however long we've been there for, whether that's either through the entire films and then we've gone back to the comics, or the comics first then we've gone to the films, whatever it is. I like those nods. They're kind of that whole salute to the geek, which is exactly what I kind of enjoy while sat there going, yeah, they did that for us.
How do we feel about the actor, Jason Momoa?
He's going to nail it, isn't he? They needed a character, as we say. He's got a bad reputation to turn around, and they've gone for probably the most badass-looking guy. His acting, I'm not 100% sold on.
He doesn't
I've
really
only
do...
seen him one thing, and that's Game of Thrones, and he didn't say much.
He was in Stargate Atlantis as well, if you're a Stargate fan.
A long time ago. Might have seen it in the odd episode, but nothing.
Yeah, he's, like I say, he's one of the main cast in Stargate Atlantis. But I think this will up his career for whatever reason. I do believe this will up it, because they've actually chosen him for the fact that, as everyone else, he's a badass looking bloke. And to be honest, if he can't pull it off, then no one would be able to, I don't think. Like I say, I'm just excited to see Aquaman, and from what I saw from the trailers, it was more the focus was more on him rather than it was actually on, as we keep saying, Batman. I know he keeps sneaking in the clips, but I don't know if I'm excited for it or not, to be honest with you, the whole Justice League.
I like the Justice League.
Sophie told me earlier she was very 50-50 on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm expecting a lot. I don't know. I'm not going to go there with my hopes too high for it, to be honest. If it's good, it's good. I'll be happy with that, but I'm not expecting a lot from it.
Does anyone feel how I feel as well? Because Marvel have already done the Avengers and things like that. With the Justice League, it seems a bit sort of like, well, they've done it, we'll do it too.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a bit tit for tat. Oh, they're doing it, so we're going to have to do it as well.
Then the Justice
But it is the natural progression of arrival, isn't it?
I mean, how quick have they got to the Justice League? You know what I mean?
Do you not feel that it's being a bit rushed?
Yeah.
Haven't got much of a different choice, though. The Marvel train is so far along now that every bit, if they took their time like Marvel did and did a Batman 1, Batman 2, Superman film, an Aquaman film, Wonder Woman film, Flash film, and then a Justice League, we'll be so far behind. Marvel will be in phase 6 and 7, and they'll never catch that up.
I have no idea what's happening in phase 6 and 7, but I'm looking forward to it.
Why do they have to catch up? Why do they have to be chasing it?
It has to be a competition.
I'll defend DC for a second. I think the fact that they're going to use the Justice League as like almost a stepping off point for their cinematic universe, I can kind of get on board with it. Kind of what Rich said. They don't have the ability to start with solo film, origin story. They do have to kind of go in balls deep hard to start off with, which is, let's do the Justice League. And to be fair, if you're going to start a cinematic universe now, there's going to be team join-up movies everywhere. I mean, I think Universal planning to do it with The Mummy, Frankenstein, and whatever else they're going to use. But the idea of having that team movie is kind of exactly where they have to go with it. It's just that I suppose DC are using that as their springboard as opposed to their culmination of it. I mean, I suppose the culmination of Marvel's team movie is going to be Avengers
Infinity War.
Thank you.
Well, on the other side of the spectrum, where are Marvel planning on finishing? Are they just going to carry on with this forever? Just doing
rebooting?
Really?
I haven't heard.
They'll do eventually. They'll write themselves into a hole the same way as comic book writers have always wrote themselves into holes. They'll kill Robert Downey Jr. because he won't sign a contract, and then 3 years later they'll have one half dodgy film and he'll sign a contract. So then they'll have like not an Earth 2 Robert Downey Jr. because of course that would be they'll have him come from an alternate reality of some sort, an alternate timeline. He comes into it before you know it. They've got such a messed up, convoluted storyline that every film pretty much starts with, hey, I remember you from Captain America 7. You were in that scene from Hulk 3. Of course, we're not going to get many Hulk films ever.
No.
I think we need another Hulk. I personally think we need another Hulk film.
Yeah, I'd like another Hulk one.
I mean, Ragnarok is basically a Thor Hulk film.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll ever get a Hulk solo film again. I really don't, because not only just the figures, but the fact that Hulk is the one character they still don't own the rights to fully. I believe it's still Universal that own half the rights, so it means everything's already split. And like Incredible Hulk itself, it cost 137 million to make. It made 263 million worldwide. You compare Hulk to Ant-Man, it made 518 million. It made double what a Hulk film could, and Hulk is a well-known, out of the Avengers, probably the one that the non-comic book fan prior to all these films could go, that's Incredible Hulk.
But people like the Hulk that don't necessarily like Bruce Banner, and the problem with the Hulk film is you have to do a lot of Bruce Banner.
Well, of course you do.
You have to.
Planet Hulk, because Planet Hulk, he doesn't turn into Bruce Banner until towards the end.
That's going to be Thor.
Which is what
Thor Ragnarok.
is going to happen in Thor Ragnarok.
They're making that into what Ragnarok is they have to fight Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen his gladiator armor? Ooh.
Why have they made a physical armor for Hulk when he's a CGI character?
Because they're Marvel and they have a ridiculous amount of money and they can.
Because they're bored.
Because Kevin Feige went, I think this is going to be awesome.
That'll be for the avid collectors out there. They'll probably sell that for a couple of 100,000 on eBay or something one day.
It'd be ironic if it was bought by Ben Affleck.
Right, okay. I'm going to, again, defend Ben Affleck. I think another reason why the Justice League trailer was so good is because, for me, the one character who actually worked in Batman vs. Superman was Ben Affleck as Batman. And he was point and centre for the Justice League.
And he was funny.
He was. I mean, the guy can act.
Realised that Batman, Bruce Wayne, is funny. He's not the same sort of humour as kind of like your goofier Flash humour and your wisecracking Green Arrow humour or your Scout Superman humour, but he is like a dark, sarcastic humour.
Is he in more or less? Is that more or more less? More or less. He said no. Yeah, he said no. That entire exchange was funny.
It felt very natural as well. It didn't feel like some of the funny lines in Batman versus Superman when it was, we need to get a joke in here. And it was kind of
there was funny lines in Batman vs. Superman?
Martha!
Oh yeah, there you go. There it is. That was funny. That was pathetic. That hurt. No, I can't breathe.
We've kind of already led ourselves on anyway to the next topic. We started talking there about Thor Ragnarok. Other films that are obviously planned as coming up that they've also revealed then at San Diego Comic-Con is Spider-Man Homecoming.
No, boo. Boo. Get rid of it. As I've said previously, I don't need another Spider-Man film. Bugger off.
I believe it was another damn Spider-Man.
Yeah, goddamn Spider-Man. I don't need another one. This one just seems like it's going to be a chick flick almost for Spider-Man. Homecoming. You can't find a flipping date. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, but at least this time Aunt May's hot.
Oh, one reason for the boys to watch it. Yeah, I've got to watch an awkward teen deal with some feelings he doesn't understand, going through bodily changes. Yeah, all right, and that sounds like good watching to me. No.
Well, the fact that they haven't even released it to the public kind of tells me that there's still work to do on it.
Yeah, scrap it.
What's your view on that?
Scrap it. Start again.
What am I on the Spider-Man bandwagon?
No, on your view of DC have arrived at Comic-Con and they've gone, okay, we've got a lot, we did a bad. We did
DC,
a bad twice.
DC smashed
Here's a trailer.
DC left Comic-Con literally like hand in the air, end of Breakfast Club with the blaring song playing as they left. That's how they left Comic-Con, and quite rightly so. They absolutely smashed Comic-Con. My only issue with Comic-Cons and San Diego Comic-Con is if they've kind of peaked at Comic-Con and then their films bomb again, because we all kind of did the whole Batman vs. Superman footage. It was like, do you bleed? You will. That was awesome. However, the film then sucked. And then I watched it again and only managed to get halfway through it before going, no, I'm done. I'm walking out. And that's the only other I couldn't go with it again. It wasn't great. I hope they do it well this time. I hope they do Justice League well. I hope that everything that I want from the Justice League lives up to it. I hope everything that I want from Wonder Woman lives up to it. And then equally, I want everything from the Suicide Squad to live up to what I want it to be. I want everything from the solo Aquaman film to do the same. They've just said today they're going to do a Man of Steel 2, and my exact response was an eye roll, look in the air going, oh God, no. Because for me, Superman is a boring character. There is nothing he can't do well. How do you do a film with that guy?
He must have a tiny penis.
He's called the Man of Steel for a reason, Richard, I believe. I don't believe it's because of the length of his man.
He can be odd and small.
Isn't the line...
Has anyone actually read anything, though, about the Spider-Man trailer from Comic-Con? Obviously, we've not seen him.
No,
because Marvel are stingy.
Or Marvel playing it well.
Well, we know that Tony Stark's going to be in it as some small cameo. He's not going to fight alongside Spider-Man, is he?
Isn't Chris Evans in it as well?
Is he?
It was originally rumoured. I don't know if he is actually still in it.
Has that been shelved?
Yeah,
Looks that way. They've not spoke about it at Comic-Con.
I've read up on it and there's no mention of Chris Evans whatsoever.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing too many... Aren't they doing what they did wrong with Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, which is trying to throw too many villains at him at the same time?
Because I mean, Shocker, Tinker, and Vulture.
Who's rumoured to be Michael Keaton, isn't he?
Which I quite like.
No, he's not. He's not in it anymore.
Is he not? I thought he was
he's back in the picture.
He's heavily rumoured, yeah.
Yeah,
he's playing Vulture.
So Rich will be happy because Batman's in there anyway. So
Batman actually flies.
Not glides.
Shut up, John.
Shut up.
His song doesn't go Batman. Batman does everything the Bat can.
Yeah.
Neither does Vultures.
Wow, what's this theme
He
tune?
doesn't have a song. He's the Vulture.
Oh, Rich is just doing one on the heart.
And next week on Everything Superhero, we're going to sing every theme tune for every superhero we know. I think I can only remember Spider-Man.
They all go to the same tune as Spider-Man.
They do. Iron Man does whatever an Iron Man can.
Whatever an iron can.
Steam.
Steam. Do things really, really hot. But when it's done to the music of AC/DC, it's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Sophia on this one about Spider-Man. I don't need another one. There was nothing wrong with Andrew Garfield, to be perfectly honest.
I agree.
There's something we all need. There's something we all need in life. No, this is Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I want to see Kurt Russell as a living planet. I really do.
Oh, this really intrigues me, the living planet. It really does.
As long as he has his moustache, I'm fine. Like a big handlebars, Quentin Tarantino, the Hateful Eight level, handlebar moustache.
Well, I managed to find a description of the trailer that they showed again at Comic-Con because Marvel is stingy and don't want to show anyone anything. And just a couple of the scenes out of it. One of which is when Ego is revealed as Star-Lord's father as part of the trailer, right at the end of the trailer. Kind of a hard-hitting scene. Star-Lord's going to finally meet his dad. This planet's going to somehow explain how he made a human clone of himself to go out and have sex and have Star-Lord. Not himself, obviously. And instead, the scene they've gone with is that Drax questions if Ego's human form includes a penis. To which they all look awkwardly at each other. And Ego replies, "Yes, Drax, I do have a penis, and it's a pretty good one, too."
Awesome.
Being a woman, what qualifies as a good penis? Just if you were to describe it, what's a good penis? It behaves.
Go on Channel 4. Go on the Channel 4 catch-up program. Watch the thing that I watched last night, which was the most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen on television, which was Naked Dating. You'll understand what a good penis is.
Why is there some bad ones on there?
There are some truly hideous penises on there. I mean, I'm not saying any penis is a particularly good-looking penis, but there are some genuinely hideous penises on there.
Oh, I'm so intrigued to watch this now.
Do I get to see the JJs?
There are for JJs as well. And also boobs.
The boobs.
Because boobs.
Boobs.
You all just turned to gay boys.
So we were talking about a penis of a planet, weren't we?
A penis of a planet, yes.
A planet's penis.
I've lost track. I don't even know where we are.
I think we've said penis too many times.
I think we're still talking about Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure there's Comic-Con in here somewhere.
Oh.
I thought we were supposed to be talking about superhero stuff, and we're going on about something else.
We went on to penis planet.
Rich, you're meant to be moderating this. Get us back on
planet
track.
penises.
Yeah, my only issue with how they're going to do that, the whole reveal about I am your father, is are they going to, as long as they do it on a weather vane with like an arm being missing or something, I'm alright with it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Baby Groot. He's going to be like a toddler, and I think it's going to be really cute.
Does that mean he's going to be saying like, I am? Is it? Are Groot's balls going to drop during the film? Because that'd be hilarious.
I am Groot.
And can Vin Diesel do anything other than a deep voice?
Is Vin Diesel even in it? Have they still cast him?
Yeah, Vin Diesel's still great.
It's pointless having Vin Diesel to say three words over and over again in a film, but now he's going to be saying 3 words with his voice altered to sound like a toddler twig.
No, because that's better than what I imagined. I thought he got like a can of helium on the side.
Have you ever seen the footage of the first film of him actually recording his dialogue?
Oh yeah, and you see it in all the different languages.
And the amount of effort the guy puts into the I am Groot. I'm like, dude, you're saying 3 words.
He does that for ages, shows it in the different languages, and then they're like, so how do you feel about being in this role? Well, I had to get into the character. I really feel I bonded with this character. And how come this is the first film that Vin Diesel has ever done in which he is likable as an actor?
Because he only gets to say
yet
3
he doesn't
words.
have any words.
But still, it was an awesome line.
Give the man an Oscar.
He's probably going to win one eventually.
Being Groot.
Hands up, who knows about Mantis? Who the hell Mantis is?
No clue.
No. I feel like I should, though, from what you're saying.
Well, as part of this Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they have a new member to the Guardians. They've got Nebula joining them, for one.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
They've got Yondu, who's actually joining them in this one.
I should quite like.
And then an all-new character called Mantis. I don't know much about Mantis at all. I literally know that she was left an alien temple at a young age. And I know that in this film, she's going to be raised by Ego. That is pretty much all I know about her. She appears to
planet
fly.
Ego, or is that the planet Ego, or is that the Ego clone with the good penis?
Maybe it's both Egos.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so we're going to have Mantis in it. We're going to have yet another new character. Now, as far as researching who the character is out of the comics, it's kind of pointless a little bit because as James Gunn proved with Guardians of the Galaxy 1, he's pretty much just taken the name Guardians of the Galaxy and the names of the characters and then kind of done his own thing with them, which I'm pretty sure due to its success, the Marvel writers are eternally thankful for because now they have to rewrite all of their characters to get them in line with how they appeared in the film. Because they have a lot of people buying the comics going, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, reading it and going, this isn't Guardians of the Galaxy.
Have you read the Guardians of the Galaxy comic?
I've read a few issues now.
Yeah, they're not great.
So, of course, they've got a lot of characters to build on. So they've got Mantis they're bringing in, although, as we say, none of us know who she is. And hopefully by the end of the film, she'll be as likable as the rest. I think the big news is the fact that Ego, we're going to have a planet in this. Also that the trailer features music, the same as, obviously, the first one had Hooked on a Feeling. This one has The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's a good tune.
Somebody's buying the CD of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I might even buy it on tape this time.
No. Was it even available on tape?
Yeah.
No way.
You could buy it with a Walkman.
That's
Guardians
really...
Walkman. Wouldn't it be cool if instead of headphones, you just got the Star-Lord mask that played the music to you?
That'd be aces.
It'd look a bit weird on the bus, though, wouldn't you?
You would look like Star-Lord.
Nobody would sit next to you, though.
Oh, yeah. Only if you're wearing a leather jacket to boot, though, dude.
I think it's on his Christmas list.
So what do we think then? So for the Marvel films upcoming next, we've got Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Spider-Man Homecoming being the next 4. We're going to go around now, rate them from least favourite to favourite. Ben, go.
Favourite, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
I agree there. I'll just do the easy one and say I agree there as well.
There you go.
Sophie?
Least looking forward to is bloody Spider-Man again. I don't want to see another Spider-Man. Guardians of the Galaxy's got to be at the top.
Okay, John?
Guardians, Thor, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
Is that going up or down?
Guardians being the most favourite to look forward to.
Huh. So your favourite hero is down at the bottom?
He's my favourite hero, but
He's had enough
I
like
don't
the rest of us.
I'm not. It's like they've done one Guardians film. They haven't done a Doctor Strange film, and Thor's just got the Hulk in it. So
You see, Doctor Strange, I don't know enough about him. The trailer doesn't really get me that excited about watching it. So, really indifferent whether I see that or not. I will watch it, but will I bother rushing to the cinema? Probably not.
Controversial statement of the night. I'm going to say Deadpool was the best superhero film of the year so far.
are we classing him as a superhero?
Well, he's an anti-hero.
What else are you going to class him as?
A mercenary.
So you're going to say that this is a new mercenary genre?
If they bring a Deathstroke out, would you say yes?
Oh, God,
Yes.
I hope they bring a Deathstroke.
I would chop off my left nut to see a Deathstroke film. Done well, might I add
I'd
that
actually
in.
quite like to see Manu Bennett do it as well.
Oh, he did so well in Arrow Season 2.
He really did, didn't he?
Arrow Season 2, also known as the good season of Arrow.
Well, 1 and 2 were good.
Okay then, the best season of Arrow.
Yeah, definitely.
I still quite like Arrow.
No,
I
season 3 was bad. Season 4 was even worse. Although I do look forward to 5.
Which leads us on beautifully.
Oh yes.
You know what? That
Look
was
at that,
teamwork.
that was
I like that.
Right.
Thanks,
See how
that
I did
one.
there?
Right there. That was up there with the professional.
It's like we know what we're
It's
doing.
like smooth as.
Or at least
Yeah.
we did until we then ruined it by pointing out we have no idea what we're doing and we just happened to look upon it.
It's a learning
Well,
curve.
that's going to be edited. Okay, so we've got Arrow Season 5 coming. Obviously, who's not
Yes, I have been
seen
recently.
Arrow Season 4?
I've seen it.
I have
Has
done.
everyone seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I've seen enough of it.
Okay.
You're not missing much.
Mild spoilers then. Obviously, we're left with Black Canary's dead.
Yeah, she's coming back.
She's dead for now. Everyone stays dead in comic books. No one ever comes back.
It's DC. You've already pointed out they've got like 7,000 universes.
But yeah, so Black Canary died. The team's fallen apart. It turns out that Law's last words to Oliver were to not go to your... I can't remember how she worded it, but pretty much, don't be a loner. Stop being a Billy No Mates. No one likes you when you're like this. People want to see you with friends. So he has his new group. He's going to be having Curtis Holt. Yeah, he looks like a superhero. They've got the
Who's that?
Evelyn Sharp. Curtis Holt is the super brainy guy who works with
Yeah.
Felicity.
He's the guy with the afro.
See, it seems
See, I've done-
it seems that in the
Oh,
trailer
done
for
some
this,
research.
that they've tried to make it lighter because it gets so dark. Arrow does, and you get like sort of a bit depressed watching it. There's no light moments in it, and from the trailer, it looks like they've tried to bring back the humour a bit because you see Curtis Holt trying to do. Is it the salmon jump that Arrow keeps doing? Yeah, he does that and
Yeah.
fails and hits his head. It's quite funny. So I hope that this season does see the lighter side of things without it being so gloomy, I suppose.
So what you're kind of hoping for is that he becomes the Green Arrow rather than the Green Batman.
Yeah, very, very much true. But I do want to see him with the goatee. I do want to see him as the Green Arrow.
Do you know the base that they have called the Bunker, I believe they keep referring to it as?
Yeah.
How much better would it be if they called that the Quiver?
Oh no, Cupid
No.
said that to him. Was it Cupid that said that to him in season 4?
No, Harley Quinn in the
Or
comics.
was it Harley Quinn in the comics? I thought somebody had said it to him.
But yeah, so he's getting his new team. He's got Curtis Holt now. I kind of know a little bit about Curtis Holt from the comics, and I believe John was about to say he'd done research, so over to you.
Well, not on the characters as such. I just read up some reviews and stuff on it. Apparently, he's going to have a new team, which is going to consist of Wild Dog, the Vigilante, and Artemis. Now, Artemis is the only one I know anything about, and that's because of the cartoons. But then I don't know where Curtis is going to come into it.
He's going to be sitting behind the desk with Felicity, and
Well, I think so. But Felicity's still here. See, Felicity's still in Team Arrow.
Unfortunately.
So I don't know where Curtis is going to come into it because he's not a fighter, is he? He's going to be the brains of something.
So now in the
Unless
comics, he does
he-
become a superhero.
Does he?
I won't say who. I don't want to spoil that moment.
I didn't know if he was going to become like an Arrow's Cisco.
Nah.
No?
Arrow doesn't need no Cisco.
No.
Of
Cisco
course, he's
makes
going to
him
put
useful.
together. He's going to put together Arrow Team 2.0. He's going to have all them. Obviously, no doubt, Diggle's going to return at some point. There's been a lot of set photos with Diggle around. Has anyone seen the latest set photo that Stephen Amell shared, in which he just takes a picture of his boots, in the Green Arrow boots, and next to him you can see the Flash's boots, you can see Supergirl's boots, you can see White Canary's boots, and Roy Palmer's Atom. Ray
I haven't
Palmer,
seen
not Roy Palmer.
But there is going to be a Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 crossover.
There's going to be a 4-episode cross between Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which will be the mid-season finale, and no doubt the second half of the season. I
was going to say, they're doing the Legends of Tomorrow again, are they?
Yeah.
Yep.
With the villains are Damien Dark, Captain Cold, there's another 2 as well. I can't remember who the 2 are.
Eobard Thawne.
There you go. And
Flash and I did read up on it. It's just I could not get in that program at all.
Well, we've just finished watching it, and it does get better. You have some episodes where you're sitting there thinking, "Come on, please just end," and then some other episodes that you really get into. Captain Cold's character, the character development of him is brilliant. He has a full arc, and he completely changes while staying true to his character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. It was just the actor that played Rip. He just got on my nerves. I just wanted to throw my arm at him.
Really? I really liked Rip Hunter.
I hate him. Honestly, he absolutely grated on me. As soon as he opened his mouth, I just wanted to throw something at his face. It was just, honestly, it was horrible. I mean, I couldn't. He made me lose interest in the whole series. I really looked forward to that series because it was like, it was all the anti-heroes, so to speak, from like Flashverse and and Arrowverse and that, and then it was just a case of him, and it was just I couldn't. Once I heard his voice, I just didn't know.
If you could try to power through it, I would recommend watching it, definitely.
I've watched the whole season. Don't get me wrong, I have watched. Yeah, I forced myself to carry on watching, and I think it was mainly because I wanted to see Captain Cold's development. I wanted to see where he was going. I couldn't care less for Sarah or the others. I really couldn't. I lost interest in, like I say, it was just Captain Cold that kept me going. Because I like the actor as well, Wentworth Miller as well. So it's like, I enjoy his work. It was just Rip. He just done my head in. It just seemed like right cheesy acting. For this day and age, we shouldn't be seeing that kind of cheesiness. We should be seeing a professional kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience where you start to care about people rather than start hating them. And he just didn't do it. So.
Will you be watching the season 2 then?
Only if they rename the team from Legion of Doom, yes. See, because they've called it Legion of Doom. Well, that reminds me of a 1990s wrestling tag team. So
I've just read that also in the Legion of Doom is going to be Malcolm Merlin.
Okay. So I like John Barrowman. I'm hoping that they will come across and start making a better series then, because I do actually like John Barrowman as an actor as well.
He is really good as Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah.
Well, Neil McDonough, who plays Damien Dark, as well, is a really good. Yeah. One of the things that Arrow has done well, despite its failings, is pretty much all of your main villains tended to be cast well, except for Ra's al Ghul. John Barrowman as Merlin's been great. Neil McDonough as Damien Dark's been great. They've done well. Deathstroke was great. I've forgotten his name now. Manu, help me, Ben.
Manu Bennett.
Thank you. You left me hanging there, bro.
Sorry. Manu Bennett.
Yeah, so they've got Arrow, which is having a new team. They've got Legends Tomorrow, which is promised that there's going to be a team versus a team, which means they're going to split up a bit in this one. It's going to be like 2 of them might go to a different timeline than the other 2 will. which could work better if they do it well, if they manage to tie it together. The final season of the existing CW seasons is The Flash, which of course ended the last season with Flashpoint happening, which at that moment when he saves his mum, every non-comic book fan punches the air. So, yeah, Barry finally did it. Every comic book fan who knows anything about the Flashpoint storyline instantly thinks, you fool.
Yes.
Of course, now he is going to change everything.
Everything's changed.
The first two episodes are...
Which is how we're going
The
to probably
fir-
get lower.
Exactly.
The first two episodes of this series are the two that are titled Flashpoint, which means I think it's going to be a 2-episode story arc.
They're not going to do it for the full season.
They can't do it for the full season. They just can't. There's just nowhere for the story to be stretched out that far.
Cisco's too much of a fan character for them to do Cisco being a tool for anything more than two episodes.
It's also the wider effects. If they do that, then Zoom may still be alive, because if he saves his mother, then he doesn't become the Flash, he doesn't meet Cisco, he doesn't do all that, which means he doesn't stop Zoom from Earth 2, which means Zoom's alive. It also means that the Black Canary may not be dead. It may have been, and this would probably have been a better way for the series to go in Arrow, Felicity, who died, but that could have completely changed. Green Arrow may never have actually got off that island. He may still be there telling us about year 17 on the island.
Oh, is that how they're going to get around the flashbacks and Bloody Arrow?
Yeah,
I do
Legends
not
of
want to see
Tomorrow.
that fake beard again.
we can start all over again. Keep going backwards again.
So that could mess up all of them. So it's not just a case of stretching the Flashpoint storyline over a season. It's the case of you've then got to rewrite every existing series to make sense. But what it is great at doing is it's great at when he writes the timeline and he puts everything back to normal, maybe part of the altered timeline comes with him. Perhaps he alters 2 realities. Perhaps he alters a super reality. And then that's going to be probably how they bring Supergirl into it. I believe Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow both start 2, maybe 3 weeks after Arrow and Flash will start, because they've got less episodes, because things.
Just not that popular.
Which means that if he writes the timeline and gets it correct again after 2 episodes or 3 episodes, then Supergirl is now in the world. It's now all together. And more to the point, Superman is in the world. And we get to see Flash and Superman on screen. The actor who's playing Superman, Tyler Hoechlin. I knew I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. Hoechlin?
Yeah, that sounds
Anyway.
Why not?
He is great in Teen Wolf. It's the only thing I've ever seen him in, don't get me wrong. And he was great in that. He played one of the alpha werewolves. But what are everyone's thoughts on the Superman costume? I'm assuming we've all seen the Superman
It looks like a Superman costume.
It looks how it should look.
Yeah.
His pants on the outside.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody
But
wear
again,
them like that?
I'm going to make the joke I made beforehand. They really did need to think about the whole way they've phrased that advert. Superman coming in, Supergirl this fall. It didn't. Somebody in the CW should have gone, hang on, should we send that to print? And then somebody else should have said no.
But The Apprentice said
you can,
yes.
You can guarantee that the person who should have actually stepped in and said, no, we can't put that in, came up with a suggestion, Superman enters Supergirl.
Just as bad.
Yeah, good point. The one they've come out with is slightly better.
There we go. Because at least you know he's having a good time.
Oh, he digressed
Man
again.
smashing Supergirl.
With his cousin.
Oh dear.
The one episode that I enjoyed the most is when Flash did actually cross over. When the actual Barry Allen turned up, I actually thought, well, hang on a second, this could get interesting here. And it actually didn't disappoint that episode. They were both dead geeky towards one another, and it was just how you would expect them both to be towards one another. But still getting the job done of fighting the bad guys.
The thing is, of course, Supergirl was from a rival network. It was a separate universe. It was going to be its own thing. It also has Martian Manhunter, which is a topic for a whole different podcast. I could talk about the fact that DC have ignored him for far too long. Let's not forget, the reason why Supergirl is now part of the CW Arrowverse, or going to be, is because it failed. Regardless whether people say they liked it, people didn't like it, I haven't even seen it. I've seen the first episode.
Yeah, and that was terrible. That put me off completely.
No, I powered through that. It gets better.
I did.
I do need to watch it. I need to catch up with it just so I have a clue what's going on in the next season.
Yeah, it gets better. It's not great, but it gets better. It gets to a point where it is actually watchable.
I would like to see Bizarro.
For me, it was one of those shows that it was on in the background whilst I did other stuff.
Yes, I did the same.
It didn't have the grip that an Arrow had, or a Flash has, or even a Legends has. Yeah, it's one of those that's on in the background that you just kind of, it exists and you're okay with it existing and you can watch it and you don't really need to pay that much attention for you to actually understand it.
I know what you're saying. It's just like our next show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Really didn't
I
get.
like Agents.
I didn't get into it at all. Watched first 2-3 episodes, didn't grip me, got bored, couldn't be bothered to watch it again.
See, that's the worst part. We made 10 episodes. We watched 10
Did
episodes,
we?
and you only think we watched 2 or 3 because it was that far in the background. It was in our next door best friend's cousin's house. It was that far away from our focus.
It just really didn't capture me at all. I don't think it was written well. I just don't think any of it was done very well. Well, the thing that does intrigue me about this new season, it was season 4 in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is it season 4, this new one?
Yeah.
Ghost Rider. Quite intrigued to see that. Do you not like Ghost Rider at all?
No, I like Ghost Rider, but I like the Johnny Blaze version rather than the Robbie Rise.
Ah, right. But
The issue with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you could power through season 1, season 2 and season 3 got better. Season 1 was very much led by what the films were doing, and they had Thor 2, Captain America 2, and then eventually ended up in the Avengers. And it was kind of like treading water until that thing happened in the cinematic universe, and then they could use that to further their own storyline. So once Captain America 2 had happened, and S.H.I.E.L.D. had been disbanded, it could then kind of function as its own separate entity in that universe without the need to rely upon the films. And the films then weren't also indirectly shafting the TV show, which is what happened in Captain America 2. They were going in one direction, Captain America 2 happened, and the writers in the TV show went, holy shit, our entire premise for a TV show has just been eradicated. And then they kind of quickly came up with this idea, or seemingly quickly came up with this idea, and it came out and it was good. It was good. Season 2 was genuinely good. Season 3 was genuinely good. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with season 4. I quite like the addition of Ghost Rider. How they're going to include him in the whole Inhumans thing, I don't know, but I quite like the idea of having Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I want the Ghost Rider in there, don't get me wrong. But I'd rather it be the Johnny Blaze, the Gen 1 Ghost Rider, rather than one that they're giving us. Because the one that we're getting at the moment, which is I can't think of the name of the actor that's doing it, but the actual character's name is Robbie Rise.
Yeah.
His purpose really is all to do with protecting his brother, which, okay, he's got family ties, etc., but he's not hell-bent like Ghost Rider was to actually give justice to, the bad guys, so to speak, again. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like they've completely not thought about actually doing the Johnny Blaze side of things, because I think that would have been a bit better rather than it actually sort of skipping ahead, because there is comic book guys out there that actually follow probably Ghost Rider more than I do, and they'll probably disagree with what I'm saying. But to have Ghost Rider, you've got to start sort of somewhere in the beginning part of him or somewhere after where they've left him in the first film, so to speak. Like, he's now on a quest for his own soul, so to speak. But they've kind of like given us a whole new character, so to speak, because this is not the one that you're going to expect. This one's got, instead of a Hell bike, he's got a Hell Charger. It's a car.
Oh, which looks awesome.
It does look sweet, though.
Do we need another Charger in a Marvel film? I mean, come on. I mean, Blade drives around in a Charger. There's quite a few of them in reference to other comic book heroes as well that they use them as well. But I mean, it'll be interesting. The character's got to grab me, otherwise it's going to disappoint for me.
My only knowledge of Ghost Rider up to this point has been the Nick Cage films. So he's never really hit my radar in the comics, which is probably wrong of me, and he should have done. But he never has, and there will be characters that we've all seen on the big screen that no one's really paid any attention to in the comics because it's just not really kind of like hit the story arc that we're reading. So I mean, I didn't massively dislike the Nick Cage film. It was okay. It was what it was. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see where they go with this, and the fact that he is in this huge MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, kind of excites me that if they ever do decide that they are going to include the TV characters in the films, which they really do need to do for the Avengers.
Haven't they confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con that they can't?
Yeah.
Pretty sure they read that they said that they film these series for about 8 months of the year and that they just don't have the time to be able to put them in a film.
The rumour is that we are going to get maybe a Netflix series of Ghost Rider. But whether we get the Johnny Blaze version or we get the Robbie Reyes, I don't know. But they'll probably go more so with the one that we'll probably see in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to keep the story flow.
Tie it in nicely. Like with Robbie Reyes, he's obviously the spirit he's possessed by is his uncle.
Yeah.
And it's, if I remember rightly in the comics, the Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider is the one who comes and does is it called a penance stare or something?
Penance stare.
And which effectively gives Robbie Reyes control of the spirits that he kind of fuses with. But they could have that. You never know. It could be like the last episode. A flaming bike comes into shot. You get to see that he turns around, he wanders off, and then how cool would it be as just before the credits roll, you see Ghost Rider will return, Netflix 2020, whatever.
That'd be ace. That'd be awesome. I mean, I think that they should do a Ghost Rider series.
They should do a Ghost Rider. They should do a Blade Netflix series as well. Netflix definitely seems to have the darker Marvel material.
Yeah, as long as they don't do what they did before with Blade series, then that's fine.
We could have if they move Blade to Netflix, we could have a Blade Punisher crossover series.
That would be awesome.
That would be the best thing.
With the hint of Ghost Rider in the background.
With just a smidge of Ghost Rider. And why the hell not a pinch of Moon Knight?
Yeah, why not? You could throw them all in for the fun of it, couldn't you? And then Deadpool can come down.
I tell you what, I think I'd become a Marvel fanboy in that situation.
You think come?
I don't know how John feels about it. I know John's a bit of a Ghost Rider fan as well, so I don't know how John feels about what they're doing with him.
I think they've gone for the second Ghost Rider because the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not about the superheroes. It's about S.H.I.E.L.D. So because Johnny Blaze is obviously the biggest Ghost Rider, maybe that's why they've gone for the second Ghost Rider rather than the main one. Because I don't know much about the second one, but obviously Johnny Blaze was hell-bent on just causing havoc.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
I do
because
like that,
obviously Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it focuses on Coulson building his team after the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been disbanded. Coulson's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't seen season 3, so I don't know what happens in season 3 yet.
You watched the first episode.
It is actually pretty good.
I've seen season 1 and 2 where Skye starts to get powers, and who's the guy who's, you don't know if he's a goodie or a baddie, I can't remember his name.
Grant Ward.
Yeah, Ward. I liked his story. I thought it was really good. So maybe they've gone for the whole Robbie Reyes because he's a lesser known Ghost Rider.
Is this all they're concentrating on then on season 4, just Ghost Rider and nothing else?
No, without completely spoiling season 3, stuff goes down. There's a load of Inhumans knocking around, basically.
Right.
Because these aren't the Inhumans, are they? These aren't the Inhumans that they were supposed to be making a film on that they keep putting back.
Yeah, they're not going to make the Inhumans film because they've already made the Inhumans TV series. It's just disguised as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What about Island? Guy went. Is that the Inhumans start? You know what? Guy went.
Have we lost John?
John, mate, you've gone.
John?
Can you not hear me?
You went dead muffled then, mate.
Ben.
Do you want to go back to season 2?
Season 2 where Skye went.
It's happened again. It's happened again at the same point. John.
He's disappeared underwater again.
John.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 It's because it's season 2 where they kind of meet the Inhumans,
Yeah, you start to, don't you?
where they touch on Sky's mother.
They touch Sky's
That's what
mother.
I heard
Yeah.
as well. Wow. I didn't know S.H.I.E.L.D. was like that.
Holy, and you say that Superman be coming in Supergirl's bad for touching someone's mum? Is her name
Yeah, but-
Martha? Is her name Martha?
Her name isn't Martha.
Ah.
Her name isn't Martha.
Like, all I'm going to say is for anyone that is listening, if your mother's called Christine, I got your back.
Anybody's mother's called Sue. Right here. I got you. I'll kill her.
I actually heard you push your chest.
That's right. I did. I did the
Oh.
movement, and I threw up a gang sign.
I was about to say, did you kiss your finger and throw up a gang sign?
I kissed my finger. I threw up a gang sign. It happened. I'll do it again. It happened. You're not going to edit. You're not editing that bit, are you?
Probably not now.
Great.
Is John gone again?
John.
I'm still here, intermittently. Yeah, well, Sky finds a mother in season 2, and she's got a load of other people with powers there. So I didn't know if they were going to become the Inhumans start off.
Yeah, they do.
Because obviously Sky's mother turns on S.H.I.E.L.D. and tries to start a war.
Sounds like you're outside catching Pokemon.
It could be because the microphone got wet,
Ah,
so maybe it's not properly.
I think you may have an issue.
yeah, there might be an issue there. Speaking through a towel.
It's also underwater.
Because every time you speak, it keeps breaking up as well, so I'm only getting half a conversation.
Oh no.
That's why I'm pretty quiet, because I have no idea what you're saying half the time.
There's nothing new there.
Has anyone seen like the trailers for Luke Cage,
Yes.
Fist,
Yes.
the teaser for season 3 of Daredevil, and then the teaser for the Defenders?
That ties us on brilliantly to what I had wrote down in front of me here.
I'm helping you out, buddy.
but all I've actually wrote down here was that as we're well over the hour mark, I was going to say, and by going to I mean I am going to say, well, as we're well over the hour mark now, obviously there's plenty more conversations, plenty more topics to be had. We've got the entire Netflix side of Marvel that we've not even touched on.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Unfortunately, that will be time for another podcast.
that was a podcast in itself, isn't it?
That will be a podcast itself. And I tell you what, if we can get one person to comment on this video below, we will get that podcast to you before the actual podcast in a month's time. We'll get it done in a week. Comment.
What about if one of us comments on the video?
Still counts. Still counts.
Kind
Still
of
counts.
doesn't count.
An anonymous account.
I'll just get people to comment on stuff.
But anyway, so if anyone has been listening, thank you very much for listening, and thank you for listening to the Everything Superhero podcast. Of course, we have a Facebook group, Everything Superhero. We also have the Twitter feed, which I believe is at ETS feed. I believe that's probably our Instagram as well. I don't understand any of them, but please follow us on them all. Join us on there, search for us on Facebook, join in the conversation, and until next time, we will see you then. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Hello.